Welcome to Yoga Fundamentals. We're going to come into our cat-cow. I see this done a lot in class, and it's just nice to make a few finer points and cues. I prefer to call it dips and domes because in essence what we're doing with our spine is we're dipping it down or arching, and as you exhale we're lifting it up or doming like a rainbow. But with that dipping and that doming, there's a few other elements you can actually do, like squeezing the glutes as you go up, and that will tuck the tail. And even with your hands, you can push the arms down into the floor to get these movements or subtle movements through the shoulders. And that action of pushing down with the arms, the shoulder pulling down, activates and engages other muscles around the shoulder to keep them strong. And that's what we want to be doing. With all this stretching and flexibility we're creating, we also want to be creating a bit of strength and more activation through tissues and muscular groups as needed. So the dip, when we're dropping down with the spine or arching, we're doing an extension of the spine. If you're standing up, you'd be back bending. And with this back bend, you can turn the tail up to the ceiling and even look up with the head. I use that press of the hands as well, and sometimes I play around with it. Sometimes I'll drop down and even roll the shoulders a little bit. And this shoulder roll just gets into all those rotator cuff muscles, the muscles that attach to your shoulder blade. So, dipping and doming. So if you're there doing this at the moment, give it a few rounds where you dip down. Again, you can work with the breath, breathing in, exhaling to dome, and in that position, hands are pushing, tail is tucking, glutes are on, dropping the chin into the chest. Dropping down as you breathe in, lifting up, doming as you breathe out. Glutes are on, hands are pushing, and then you do all the different variations around it. I sometimes like to wiggle my tail in that dip, that little arch. Even my shoulders move a bit forward and back. You can keep that going as you lift, or get to the top, glutes are on, squeezing, tails tucking in, heads dropping, and moving shoulders, hips in this position. And it works through all the different tissues and layers of fascia around the spine, in the back layer. And again, just working down and up. Keep breathing, keep the breath flowing. Doesn't necessarily need to work with the breath, but again, if you're holding a position, holding that dip for a bit, move, keep the breath flowing, lift up, dome. So just sit back for a moment. You can tuck the toes, wriggle the fingers, wriggle the wrists. So cat-cows, dipping and doming, that extension and that flexion of the spine. They're the proper terms that we use as that spine moves. But as we know, there are other various and many ways that spine can move as you go up and down. Hence why you wriggle a bit, move the hips, move the shoulders. And just coming back. You want to work a few rounds as you drop down, breathe in. Butt sticks up, head sticks up. Push the hands, get that exploration with the shoulders. It's pushing the hands down. The head lifts up out of that sort of hunching position. As you exhale, dome the spine, tuck the head, squeeze the glutes, push the hips forward, hands are pushing hard into the floor, or even notice if you hunch, drop the shoulders sort of more around the ears, if that changes what you feel through the shoulders, through the back. Dropping down, lifting up. Again, explore it, move it. It doesn't have to look pretty. You want to be feeling it. The functional approach to yoga is that you're aiming to feel the target area where the teacher tells we want to be feeling it. Maybe there's compression there, maybe there's a stretch. Again, it's that constant exploration, that checking in, being present with the body that keeps you awake and aware and takes you deeper into understanding this physical body of ours. So that's the dip and dome. Give it a go, practice it out. It is a great way even just to wake up in the morning, but obviously folding forward and extending out, just the only two ways that the spine can move. There is a whole three-dimensional possibility where that spine can go as you move out through the world. obviously rotating side to side. But within those elements, there is partly flexing forward and that partially extending back. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get your spine moving all its possible ways as much as you can every day to keep the communication channel, the brain that connects with the spinal cord, that basically has all those nerve endings, all the pathways out to every organ, cell, system in the body, muscle group, bones, everything. It's all relaying back via this channel the spinal cord carries through the spine, through the actual backbones itself. So when we're doing that cat-cow, that dipping and doming, we're trying to help open up the channels and keeping our back as flexible as possible. Have an awesome day.